stat 10 point, is it 10? Yeah, we're on 10, right? Unit 10? 10.2-1. One proportion confidence intervals day one. One proportion confidence intervals. So the premise here is so this is what we call inference. And the main idea about inference is where when we don't know a population parameter and utilize a sample statistic to I don't want to use the word infer in the definition of inference. When we don't know a population parameter and we utilize a sample statistic, it's not really guessing, to deduce, there we go, to deduce use a sample to deduce. Deduce / conclude. So basically, we don't know what the population is. For example, what percentage of fish have 3 fins? I have no clue. What could we do? We could go out in the sea and we can capture a bunch of fish. And from all those fish, we can find out what proportion of those fish have 3 fins. And based on that statistic, we can deduce probably what the population of all fish would look like within a boundary. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So in this place, as you can recall, the parameter that we are interested is P. The true proportion of blank who blank. And that first blank in there is whatever the population we are interested in, the true proportion of fish who are successes, who have 3 fins. So we want to know the true proportion of fish who have 3 fins. Okay? That would be my parameter. We don't know that though. My sample statistic, the statistic that I'm using, is going to be P hat. Because P is unknown. Okay? P is unknown. Okay? So when P is unknown, we're using P hat. So we're going to try to use the sampling distribution of P hat using P hat conditions that we need to check. This sample is random. Now, are we able to take a perfectly random sample? No, but we do our best, right? We do our best to see if there's a random sample. Number 2. %10 condition, right?
10% of the entire population.
Our sample size N must be less than 10% of the population. Okay? And number 3, we're going to check what?
Approximately normal.
Well, we're going to check, that's going to be what we can determine. We're going to do normality check, which is what? It's called what in here?
The approx normal.
No, what is it called? It's on the top left. What is the normality check for sample proportions? Oh, is it covered right there? It's covered by success and failures. Thank you, Sam. Success and failures. So you're going to check N times P hat. That has to be at least 10. And N times 1 minus P hat must be greater or equal to 10. Now, please note, because this is from the sample, since from sample, these are integers. They are observed. Success, failure. So remember how before you got some decimals sometimes and it was like 12.2? That's not going to be the case here. If you get a decimal, all it's because it's just rounding issues. All right? So in other words, we need to, these answers should be integers, which means no decimal. No decimal integers. Now, if all of these are true, if true, true, and true, then we say that the sampling distribution is what, Sam?
Sampling is approximately normal.
Approximately normal. And the mean of P hat, the mean would be, remember, it's the same formula, but we're going to use P hat. And the standard deviation, P hat, is the square root of P hat, 1 minus P hat, over N. All underneath the square root. Now, this is actually called the standard error. It's like standard deviation, but using statistic or sample result. Here's what I want to say. Don't overthink it, okay? For the purposes of this course, standard deviation and standard error are basically the same thing. They are the same thing, okay? So for the purposes of this course, I'll talk to Ms. Page about it. We'll kind of use it very freely. Standard error, when you hear error, you think bad. All the standard error is the same thing as the standard deviation. The reason for the name standard error is because we are using the sample statistic and not what the population actually is. In the previous unit that you worked on, I told you what percentage. I told you the true proportion. And so that's a standard deviation. When we don't know it, we use standard error. So you'll often see us use this formula, SE P hat. So SE stands for standard error. So you'll see. So confidence interval. Sorry, 95% confidence interval. We know we know that normal distributions have about 95% of all results within 2 standard deviations. Okay? Is it 39 or 34 for the bell?
39.
Good, I need all that minutes. We know that about 95% is within 2 standard, within about 2 standard deviations. This is the visual I showed you earlier, okay? So here's the center, here's the mean, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we have a 95%, okay? This right here is the mean plus 2 standard deviations, and this is the mean minus 2 standard deviations. Okay? 95% would go in there. We call this first value, this is what we refer to as our lower boundary. And this is what we call our, if that's the lower boundary, the other one is called the
Upper boundary.
upper boundary. And so my confidence interval is equal to parentheses p hat minus 2 times the standard error of p hat, comma, p hat plus 2 times the standard error of p hat. These are the 2 numbers you're going to be doing. Now I do need to add a disclaimer here. Disclaimer. 2 standard errors is an estimate. The more precise value is 1.96. And I'm going to show you why. We're going to learn tomorrow and during this week that we should be utilizing 1.96 and not 2. Is 1.96 about 2? That's close. So if you use 2, is your answer going to be way off? No, but we want to be a little bit more precise. Good statisticians will use 1.96 instead of the 2. So instead of this 2, we're going to end up using this 1.96 value going on. But for right now, if we use 2, it's good enough. It's close enough, okay? Now, if you're going to ask me, well, what happens if I use 2? Am I going to be wrong? We got to be a little gray area. Technology is going to use 1.96. So if you do it by hand and you did 2, I don't think we're going to hate on you too much, but we won't give you maximum credit. We want to use the 1.96. And the technology is going to use the 1.96. So when you're entering answers later on in Desmos and you use the answer for the number and use 2, you might get the wrong answer and it might not say that it's correct. And so you may hear myself and Ms. Page say, oh, you used 2 standard errors. You should have used 1.96. I got 2 more. We want to be the wider the interval. So as C percentage goes up, the interval will what? What will happen to the interval? Wider. So will it go up or will it go down? Or sorry, yeah, it goes wider. As n increases, if we take a bigger sample, do you think you're going to be more accurate or less accurate?
Less accurate.
If you take a bigger sample, more accurate.
More accurate.
The interval narrows. Okay, and of course the opposite is the opposite. So if you're less confident, it's gonna narrow. If you take a smaller sample, it'll widen. Okay, so these are two very important things that we need to understand, and we will catch up on the rest. We'll keep